Hello, welcome to the last AARP New Jersey Fraud Facebook Friday for 2025. I'm Steve Risavy, an AARP New Jersey volunteer, and your host for today's conversation. The world is integrated with technology now, and I think we can all agree it's hard not to glance at your phone when you hear that text ding go off. Okay, but according to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, in 2024, there was a reported $470 million in losses to these text-related scams, and that's more than 5 times the number in 2020, so it is a growing problem. Since most fraud is never reported for a variety of reasons, it's safe to say that this is only a fraction of the real harm that's being done. But today, we have Melanie Hazim, Director of Outreach at the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs Office of the Attorney General, and she's going to be sharing with us information on tech scams and how we can protect ourselves and our loved ones. The New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs is a state agency within the Office of the Attorney General that protects consumers from fraud in the sale of goods and services. Melanie, thank you for joining us. Please tell us, what are the top 5 tech scams that we see today?
Sure, Steve. Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon. So happy to be here. So really, really important topic today. So thank you so much for inviting us to talk. Our 5 top text scams, and I'm sure most of our listeners, if not all of them, have received one of these, at least once so far. So the most popular one I'm hearing about is our fake package delivery scam. Okay. Why does this work so well? The odds are most of us are expecting a package any day of the week, So it's our most reported text scam. The texts will come in, they'll say they're from UPS, Amazon, a reputable, shipper, and they'll tell us there's a problem with our delivery. And then they'll link to a website to try to get us to click on it, to fix that problem, or to change the delivery, or whatever you can think of, right? Some people even click on the link and they get asked to pay a small redelivery fee, which of course could be a huge fee, number one, but more importantly, it's probably a way to get your credit card information, right, to these scam artists, or even more personal information, social security numbers, bank accounts, things like that. So we really have to be very careful when these coming in. Second one, also very unfortunate, are phony job opportunities. Now, why does it work so well? This one, it's so sad because the truth is if you're looking for a job, if you're a job seeker, you're vulnerable, right? You're out there, you really have a need. And unfortunately, these texts can come in whether you're a job seeker or whether you're not, which is such a funny thing. Sometimes they come in unexpectedly offering work without any specifics. But what I can tell you is the payday is always going to be great. It's always going to be offering you a huge amount of money for probably very little work, okay? The way that scam works is they're probably going to ask you to send some money to get perhaps some materials or some training under your belt before you begin the actual job. And the truth is, the money never goes to any sort of training or anything like that, okay? Basically, if you're ever told that you have to pay to begin a job, that's a huge red flag when we're talking about scams. Another one, fake fraud alerts. Okay, this is a one that works so well because it's a call to action. It makes us think, oh my gosh, something's wrong with my account. Let me go fix this. So basically it looks like, you're getting a text that there's some sort of suspicious activity on an account, or even a big purchase, right, on your PayPal account, something like that, something that's going to make you look twice, make you very interested, and really draw you to click on that link in that text, okay? Sometimes they come from your local bank, or they look like they're coming from your bank, or Amazon, again, these large companies, okay? They'll either give you a link to click on or a phone number for you to call, okay, to verify a transaction. So again, that nerves are going to get people to immediately pick up that phone and make that call and say, wait a second, this was not my transaction, okay? But again, that's exactly how they work. Then they will get connected to a fake fraud department and they'll have them fix the issue. Meanwhile, that probably entails more information sharing, that private information that we want to keep as close as possible. And before we know it, we're sucked in, okay? our number fourth one. And I'm sure this is popular all over the United States, but I feel like New Jersey is a really, really big one. It's that
Yeah.
text message, again, I'm sure many of us have received, that's unpaid toll notices, right? Here
Yep.
in New Jersey, our program is Easy Pass, and a lot of the text will say this is Easy Pass coming for you. You have unpaid toll balance, and they're going to go after, again, a payment, form of payment, your bank account numbers, things like that. The threats in there are going to be extreme, right? They're going to tell you, if you don't pay us by the end of the day, we're going to, suspend your driver's license, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, reasons are the reasons that these are the tools that these scam artists use to exploit us, right? The tool is fear, and that's how they get us to act. Okay. And then the last one, of course, is our wrong number texts. So that is just a random number, comes out of nowhere, and it may start out very kind. Hi, how are you? Is this so and so? And of course, they'll have the wrong name because they're just pulling something out of thin air. And that one is just a scammer trying to strike up a friendship. We've heard of the romance scam; those are very popular.
Right.
Later on, they'll suck you in by saying that they are a successful investor, they have a great venture to offer you, and those folks are really just looking for people that maybe haven't heard what we're sharing today and don't understand that you should not engage with these unknown numbers. And they're actually hoping to maybe even reach people at home that don't have a lot of friends and want to talk.
Gotcha.
So I would say to those viewers today, let's think about those people in our lives that could be susceptible to any of these scams. But that wrong number scam is usually a sad one and also a big one.
Wow. Okay. Thank you Melanie. Thank you very much. That was great. It seems like there are more text scams coming every day. Why are scammers going, that route, using scams for text?
Well, it's so funny to think, and I'm sure many people remember. I mean, even I can say I remember back in the day when you would receive a what were they called, chain letters in the mail, or the Nigerian prince scam letter, right? If we think
Right.
about it, back then, that's a lot of work and money that goes into sending these letters, right? That's postage, that's
Yep.
paper, that's all kinds of stuff. These
Yep.
days, what I try to remind folks is that technology is a blessing and a curse. So while it allows us to be, right here with any piece of information we need in the world, it also allows the scam artists to come to us instantly, right? They can be in our living rooms, on our phones instantly with the
Gotcha.
blessing and the curse of technology. So another thing is they are all created on a computer program, and they're sent out, right? And they're sent out to, a cheap, easy way to send out this note to thousands of people, and that's being conservative. Okay, these texts will go out to hundreds of thousands of people in a matter of minutes, right, with the click of one finger. And that is just basically another part of their game. These scammers, it's a numbers game. So what
Gotcha.
I like to remind people is that they are going up to bat 1,000 times a day. Okay. And all they have to do is hit it out of the park once. And the idea is we don't want to be that home run for them, right? We want to be one step ahead. We want to be a
Gotcha.
little bit sharper. So unfortunately, the text scam route really does work for what they're trying to do.
Okay. Gotcha. Thanks, Melanie. With having said that, what are some of the actions we can take to avoid text scams?
Excellent. So a lot of the things that we could do to avoid text scams are a lot of the things that I share with folks when I travel and I educate folks on scams and fraud in general, right? We can also bring this over to the text world. Number one thing I always tell folks, if you don't know the number that's calling you, do not answer the phone. That is the number
Gotcha.
one way to stop these folks from coming into our homes. I heard a long time ago, someone said, well, what can you do when it's raining outside? Not much, except for come inside and close the windows, right? That's the same idea with these scam artists. They're trying to come in, so don't open the door. So same
Gotcha.
thing, avoiding text, okay? Don't click on the links or respond to any of these texts if you don't know who they're from or you're not expecting them, anything like that, If you think it's legit, again, take that extra step. A lot of this work protecting ourselves does lie on us. Take that extra step and don't believe what that text says. It may say it's from your bank, but like we mentioned before, they're sending out thousands of text messages hoping that you bite. And it may be, like I have a friend that said, well, how did they know I was a Chase customer? They don't know that, right? So take that extra step, go to a reputable source where you can contact that company directly. Do not use any of the links or phone numbers in that text. Take that extra step. I like to tell people, go to your wallet, go to your pocketbook, look at the back of that debit card or that credit card. You'll see that 800 number there, and that is for certain the company or the number you need for that company. Go that route. Contact them that way, okay? There's ways to filter the unwanted text, and I've been thrilled because as a state employee here at the Attorney General's office, I have a state-issued cell phone, and I'm here to tell you my phone rings off the hook and texts come off the hook with scams. So nobody is, everyone's susceptible to this stuff. But I found out some programs through my phone where I can I can filter the unknown numbers that come in, whether that's phone calls or text messages, okay, before they even reach you. This is great. And this is also another great tip for maybe some of us that are watching that may be caregivers to perhaps seniors. And so that could be an extra step you could take to protect them because you can't always be with them. All right. Another one that I love is a website. It's the wireless industry website. It's ctia.org. And on that website, you can find out a lot of other resources where they can offer you call blocking apps and things like that. And then lastly, of course, I always direct people, go to your wireless provider. Okay. Go there, give them a call, talk to them, see what they have to offer. Again, that blessing and that curse of technology, the good guys work. They're working to create programs and things like that to protect us from these things. Sadly, the bad guys are also working to figure this out. So we just have to keep up as best as we can, keep up with what technology is offering us. And those are very, very helpful to stop a lot of those unwanted texts for sure.
Gotcha. That's great information, Melanie. This information will help protect our viewers and their loved ones. Excuse me. If someone has been a victim of one of these scams, how can they report it?
Really, really great point and very important thing. So the best thing to do is when we're talking about text message scams, we can forward messages to 7726, which actually spells out spam. Okay. This helps our wireless providers spot these messages and block similar messages and just be alert and aware of them. Okay. If we have an iPhone, we can report them on Apple iMessage or Google Messenger for those Android users. Okay. And of course, always the FTC, that's kind of like our big brother organization here at the division. We can always do that. And the website for them is reportfraud.ftc.gov. Often people ask me, well, can I write the phone numbers down? Can I bring them to my local police station? Unfortunately, the numbers that are coming up and popping up on cell phones, they're spoof numbers, they're scam numbers. Lots of times, if you ever try to call them back, they don't even go anywhere. So that is more of like, I would recommend one of these things that we suggested instead of kind of a cat chasing its tail, because when you call back those numbers and you try to talk to anybody, there's no one there.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Melanie, thank you very much again. In wrapping up, can you share your closing thoughts with our viewers?
Oh, most definitely. So again, protecting ourselves from scams is, it can be a lot of work, unfortunately, because these scam artists are out there. They're very good at what they do. They're professional liars, professional actors. However, what we're doing today, and Steve, again, thanks for taking the time out to chat with me, and what our viewers are doing at home is the perfect thing to do to protect ourselves. Because if there's one of the saddest parts that I could see, what I've learned of what I've been here at the division for almost 10 years now, is that people don't become interested in this topic until it's too late. Until they've already become a victim or someone that they love has become a victim. So I applaud everyone at home that's sitting here and giving us a few minutes to watch this, because taking that proactive approach is the best way to protect ourselves and the most helpful thing for all of us. Another closing thought I'd like to share with folks, no matter what sort of scam we're talking about, I want to stress the importance of practicing the pause. Because the whole way that these scams are designed is, as I mentioned before, they're designed to have us instantly react. Rational thought goes out the window and they just want us to, let's take care of this problem. So to practice a pause is a great way to sit calmly with the situation, just like you and I are doing now, chatting about it. Perhaps finding a trusted friend or loved one to run it by, so we don't do anything impulsive, because that's exactly when the problem starts.
Gotcha. All right. Great advice. Thank you so very much. Again, Melanie, thank you for joining us today. A wealth of information there. Thank you again.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
All right. So, folks, if you're concerned that you've been scammed, you can reach a trained volunteer at the AARP Fraud Watch Network helpline at 877 908 3360. Again, that's 877 908 3360. And if you'd like more information and resources on fraud and scams from AARP New Jersey, please visit our website. And that address is aarp.org/NJ Fights Fraud. And again, if you can see it on the screen, NJ Fights Fraud is one word. So again, it's that address is aarp.org/NJ Fights Fraud. And then if you're interested in learning more about, some fun free events, special offers, and the latest news from AARP, text the word yes to email. So that's YES, the number 2, and the word email, and then text that to 50757. Again, that's 50757. And that enables you to receive a one-time text message from AARP with a link to sign up for emails and learn about AARP and learn about what AARP has to offer. Message and data rates may apply. Okay. So we hope you've learned something new today about how you can stay safe from fraud and scams. But as Melanie had pointed out before, and this is very important, please share what you've learned with your family and friends so they can be protected as well. So thank you and have a great day.